The following program is intended for mature audiences.
Right footed kick is up, end over end, and now he hit the crossbar after he hit the upright, and the Bears are going to lose.
You're listening to Basically a Sports Show.
Follow us on Twitter at Basically Sports.
Subscribe to our podcast on iTunes.
And check out every episode of the show at basicallysports.tumblr.com.
Now here's your hosts, Zach,
Greg, Mike.
And you're listening to Basically a Sports Show.
The absolute worst!
So I'm on YouTube today, and I get a notification, because on YouTube I'm always under the Bass account, because it's just easier. And this guy going by the name of Jimmy Durex says, I'm going to go downvote all of your crappy videos. To which I replied, well, there are over 200 of them, so plan your time accordingly.
What was his problem?
Oh, no, he didn't say. He just doesn't like us, I guess.
Oh, okay.
But I thought, if you're going to downvote 200 videos, you're going to be here a while. He got off to a good start. I think he downvoted about 10 of them before he finally gave up. But just in case you're listening, Jimmy, go fuck yourself. And, well, that's that. Pretty good weekend in NFL playoffs, I thought, boys.
Yeah, that was quite a...
I don't know how you do it,
Quite
Mike.
a start as a Chargers fan.
I don't know how you do it.
It's not easy.
What was it, 23-3 with about 8 minutes left, something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, it took the fumble recovery to put the guy was like, this can't be happening. But there it was.
To the Ravens' credit, they were being held to field goals, which is incredible for a Chargers team to be buoyed by field goal.
Right? What did you guys think of that defense the Chargers ran yesterday with the 7 defensive backs against the run? I thought that was brilliant, actually.
They did a very good job containing Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. It worked, right?
Yeah.
If you're the linebackers on that team, I don't know how you feel.
Well, I guess they had a lot of injuries at linebacker, so it kind of worked out both ways.
I would have thought if you're the Ravens, if you see a bunch of DBs lining up at linebacker and they're like, oh, they're there for the speed, why don't you just start pounding the ball up the middle?
Well, I think we saw yesterday why there's been such a debate about John Harbaugh. I don't know if Lamar Jackson's a good passer or not, but when you let him throw 9 times in 3 quarters, we're never going to find out.
He had, -2 passing yards with 6 minutes left?
Yeah, but he finished with, I think, a $194 or something like that.
He finished with more passing yards than Rivers did.
Yeah. It was a weird game. It was just a weird game. The Chargers were dominating, and then all of a sudden they weren't. And that's when – because we were texting back and forth, and you were like, there's nothing to worry about. I'm like, yeah, Mike, it's fine. And all of a sudden I'm going, oh, shit.
I was nervous the entire way thing. You never fucking just assume the Chargers are going to win a game. That's insanity.
I didn't say it just because it would have been mean, but I'm sitting there thinking, going, they're going to pull this off, and it's going to be one of the most gut-wrenching losses I've ever seen the Chargers endure. And so we were watching the game. I really thought it was going to happen, but thank goodness it didn't.
I mean, I've got no faith going into New England.
Oh, see, I feel a lot better about them playing New England than I do Baltimore. A lot better.
See, you can't let your foot off the pedal like that against New England. You might be able to get away with it against Lamar Jackson. Tom Brady's going to make you pay.
Belichick's a great coach is another thing that you got to think about. But I think talent for talent, I like the way the Chargers match up against the Patriots better than I did against Baltimore. I think it's a hell of a slate of games next week, and it's going to be something.
Divisional weekend's always the best. It really is the best weekend. But
and should we stop and before we move on and have a moment of silence for our friend Andy?
Oh God!
Wow!
Bears. Wow! I don't even know what to say. Really, that game was dull for a long period of time.
It really was.
And even on that last drive, Trubisky made an incredible throw to finally get them back in it. And you're like, okay, they're going to go do this. The things are going to be right, and it's going to be fine.
You can blame the kicker, but I think they put themselves in that spot. Come on. The offense was horrible.
And that was what we talked about as the potential downfall. The defense, for the most part, did its part. They got 2 interceptions. They forced a fumble. The defense.
Nick Foles did not have a super good game.
No, but he made the plays when he had to.
I'm telling you, I'm a bit tired of Nick Foles. Just fuck him.
I'm tired of all the talk of how teams can use him and why isn't he this and come on. Where were these people when he was with the Rams? Where were they every year of his career until 4 games last year? That's why. The answer is it's self-evident why no one's offering him a ton of money. I mean, I can't tell you how many different shows and articles I read were like, Nick Foles, blah, blah, blah. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? He's not this great quarterback that we've discovered that, wow, where was he this whole time? We know where he's been. Like, if they had to play 3 more playoff games, he would implode before they got there, I promise you. There's no way he'd make it all the way. No way.
Yeah. It was a special set of circumstances with the Bears offense that just wasn't good enough. And I think that's something that they really have to address. Mitch Trubisky's not good enough. Defense is there, but I don't think Trubisky on his own is not going to win you anything.
He shows flashes. He made a nice throw yesterday on that last drive. But you got to be good for more than that if you're going to carry a team or be the guy on a team. And I don't know that. I'm just going to say, and maybe I'm going to sound like a total homer here and I don't care, but you put Baker Mayfield in that game yesterday and there's no way they lose. No way. It absolutely doesn't happen. And I think that's the difference. You got to have a guy that – I'm not sure that Mitch Trubisky wants to be the guy. Let me ask you this. Let me put it this way. Is he any better than Ryan Tannehill?
I think he's better than Ryan Tannehill.
I think he's about the same.
I'd put him on the Tannehill, Bortles sort of level. Trubisky just is limited.
And with Trubisky, he's a lot like Bortles in the fact that we saw Bortles play very well at times last year, and you saw it with Trubisky this year.
At the same time, though, are we even saying this about Trubisky if that field goal goes through at the end?
Probably. I still think the same way about him, yeah. I don't think that I don't think he's a bad quarterback. I mean, I don't want to give the impression that I think he's terrible, but would they score 15 points? That was it? You got to do better than that in the playoffs, especially with the defense. You got to do better than that. I think if anybody had said, the Bears defense is going to hold Philly to 16, you'd be like, the Bears are winning that game easy, no problem. And that's the issue, I think.
And I mean, and ultimately too, the defense just failed it when they needed it the most.
Yep.
And I know you're asking on them a lot, especially with how little the offense is putting out. That touchdown drive was a little too easy. But the Eagles, here they are. Nick Foles has more wins in the playoffs than like 7 teams combined over the last 20 years. The other thing for the Bears, we didn't even touch on this last week, but they got to pick their opponent, essentially.
Yes, they did.
They could have laid down to the Vikings and played them again, but they beat the Vikings and got the Eagles.
I don't know, though. To me, when you start trying to think it through like that, it inevitably blows up in your face.
Well, because the other thing was, in theory, had the Rams lost to the 49ers, they could have gotten the number 2 seed.
Yeah.
So I think that's also what they were kind of playing for.
I just don't like, we've talked about it with something as simple as not scoring a touchdown when you can. To me, it's always, if you can win the game, if you can score the points, you do it, and you worry about the next step after that. And I don't know that, because everybody's been saying that they made their own bed by making it set up so they play the Eagles. Well, yeah. But if they don't do that, then what happens if Minnesota comes to town and they lose to the Vikings? And you go, it's so many.
And if the Rams had lost and they didn't play well, they would have been kicking themselves over it.
Yeah.
Because they could have got the bye too.
Right. You just can't I get the logic behind it. I understand that. But you can't go into an NFL. I mean, you're going to get killed doing shit like that. I mean, I guess you could play your backups, and that would have been a good reason just to say, okay, we're resting our guys. But we've seen that blow up in teams' faces too. I mean, how many years that the Colts would sit everybody down and then you go out in the first or second round? I think you just got to keep playing your game until they tell you to go home. If the Colts and the Chargers win, then the AFC Championship's played at the soccer place, right?
Which, I'll have you all know, it is no longer the StubHub Center as of January 1st.
Oh, now what is it?
It is now the Dignity Health Center.
Oh, that's even more big league than it was before.
Dignity Health Stadium? Hold on. What is it? What is StubHub? I forget if we change it to center or stadium.
What the actual terminology is, but I can tell you that the one part of it that's probably not correct is the dignity part.
Dignity Health Sports Park.
Wow. I'm sorry, that sounds like where I go to play softball. Come on.
That is the name of an MLS stadium, for sure. That is not an NFL.
No.
That is not an NFL stadium name.
No, that's what I'm saying. There's not a whole lot of dignity in this for the poor old Chargers.
I think the Chargers are going to be okay. at the very least, they're going to give the Patriots their best shot. The only concern, if this is one at all, is playing on the East Coast in back-to-back weeks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The unfortunate situation where they were in, where they just happen to be in the same division with the best team in the conference, so now you're on the road.
And I was reading an article today, I think on The Ringer, where they were talking, the Chargers, man, they say they love playing on the road. I don't think they're being honest about why they like playing on the road. They're just like, because we all get along well, and it's fun, and we're a close-knit bunch of guys, so it's cool to be on the road. They won't come out and say because it sucks being at home, but I think that's a part of it. And so I don't know that the road thing is a problem for them. I haven't all along. And the worst thing that could happen to this team would be for that AFC Championship to end up back at the undignified center of soccer and other stuff.
The dignified Sports World Athletic Park.
Right, that place. But the only thing that, and this is always a big factor anytime you play the Patriots, I think talent for talent, the Chargers are a better team. What do the Patriots have anymore? I mean, Edelman, Gronk is like a third of what he used to be. Brady's starting to show wear and tear. Not much of a running game. The defense isn't great, but they're still 11-5. They're still the number 2 seed in the AFC.
Yeah, I think the Chargers were going to give them their best shot. The Chargers are just as good as anybody else. As we said when we were doing the previews, now that we're into the second weekend especially, anybody can win or make it to the Super Bowl at this point.
There's not a clear favorite right now.
Yeah. Especially the AFC. The low person on the totem pole would be the Colts, but they're hot. Say what you want to say. They've won 10 of 11. They could knock off the Chiefs, and if they had to play the Patriots, knowing the Colts' history against the Patriots in Foxborough, I wouldn't say that that's good. But if they have to play the Chargers at the Dignity Health Sports Park, they might have a shot.
I think the Colts are going to beat the Chiefs, guys. I'm sorry. I don't have a lot of confidence. I've just seen this team too many times. I don't know what happens because you've got this offense. It's like a Madden game where everybody's on 99 offense, and then they'll come out, wait and see, and it won't be there. It'll be like it just disappeared. If the Chiefs don't get out big and put the hammer down and keep it down, they will lose this game.
I'll just be interested to see how they react to the bye week.
It's funny in the playoffs. Sometimes the bye week really helps, and other times it's like the worst thing that could have happened. It just depends on the team.
Right. But the other thing that was interesting, an interesting stat was we had that stretch from like 2003 to 2009 or so where there were so many wildcard teams that were making the Super Bowl. Since 2009, only 1 or 2 seeds have made the Super Bowl since then.
Well, yeah, I remember. If you remember, we had the Steelers that year.
The Giants, both years they win.
Yeah, the Packers were 3.
Packers, Ravens.
Yeah, all of them, and then it just stopped, and it was like all chalk from there forward. Yep. But I think this year is shaping up to be another one of those crazy years where I look at the board right now, and I think anybody could win it. Anybody. Even the Eagles. I mean, some teams I like their chances less than others, but anybody winning the Super Bowl at this point would not be a shock to me. There's not a team out there that go, how the fuck did that happen?
But how many times do we have this where we say, oh, anybody could win it, and then in 3 weeks it's, hey, look, it's the Patriots and the Saints.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. I don't remember thinking this last year, though. I mean, I think it was pretty obvious last year where we were headed. So who do we like this weekend? Should we do some predictions real quick? Let's go starting with the early game and work our way right through to Sunday afternoon.
Well, let me pull the schedule. Early game's the Chiefs, right?
I believe it's, Chiefs.
Chiefs, Colts?
Chiefs, Colts.
I'm going to go with the Chiefs on that one. I love this Colts run. I love Andrew Luck. I'm glad that he's getting the opportunity to finally, show what he's worth. But I still just think that Colts team is missing a few parts.
Yeah.
Where at the very least the Chiefs will be good for a week. And then they'll really get their mettle tested last week. And I do think, Mahomes wasn't there for it, or he wasn't the starter last year.
Right.
But you got to think the Chiefs are a little embarrassed by that Titans game from last year. And they want to kind of right that wrong.
Yeah. Speaking of the Titans, we'll get to this in a minute, but
yeah.
And the Packers.
Yeah.
But I honestly don't think the Colts are good enough to beat this Chiefs team. I just don't think the talent's there. So I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
I got to... The Bill Simmons playoff manifesto, beware of the team that looks better than it really is the first week of the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And that might be the Colts in this case.
Yeah.
The only thing...
Again, the thing with the Colts is I just don't like the way that their offense stalled after going up 21-0.
It just died. It just, like, it left.
That's all they needed because Houston just flat out was not good enough. And
if you just look at it on paper,
filling out your Saturday afternoon ballot, Houston.
If you just on pure talent alone, the Chiefs should really walk away with this game. They've got, I think, better quarterback. That's debatable. But right now, he's the better quarterback. I mean, 5,000 yards, 50 TDs this year. That's better than what Andrew Luck did. You know, you've got Tyreek Hill. You've got Travis Kelce. All of that. The defense is a question mark, but they score so many points that I don't think that it's that big a concern, especially at home. But there's the Andy Reid thing that you just can't get around. Because he just, I've seen this Chiefs team do this so many times now. I mean, they should have beat the daylights out of the Titans last year, and they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to be an idiot either. I think that I want the Colts to win, but if I'm going to make an official pick, I got to go with you guys and go with the Chiefs. But
also note that the last time these two teams played in the playoffs, it was that incredible comeback by Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
It was a home game for them, but
right.
Still, they did it against Andy Reid and the Chiefs back in 2014.
Yeah.
So that's something to keep in mind.
The Chiefs are interesting. I mean, it's going to be fun because you just really don't know what you're going to get. You've got regular season Chiefs versus playoff Chiefs, and these are usually two entirely different things. So this game should be crazy. And I tell you what, I wouldn't bet $1 on it either way. There's no way. Yeah. I'd stay away from it at all costs.
It's going to be up to the Colts defense to slow down Mahomes.
Yeah.
I think the Colts will be able to put up points. It's just a matter of how many do the Chiefs put up on the other side of it.
Yeah, and then you get the Chiefs. That home crowd is going to be great. I don't know what the weather's supposed to be, but
I don't know.
If it's decent weather, and there's not anything slowing them down, I just don't. I'd love to see the Colts win, and it's been a fun run. But yeah, at the end of the day, the smart money's got to go on the Chiefs. Even though you can find a million reasons not to, you can't be dumb about it. You got to go with the Chiefs. All right, who's next?
We got Rams hosting the Cowboys. There will be surely plenty of Cowboys fans that show up because there's a lot of them that live here in LA. So it'll be an interesting vibe in the stadium. But
you think it'll be? What do you think the percentage breakdown will be?
I want to put some faith in, based on last year's playoff game, the Los Angeles fans showed up. And I think, based on even the Kansas City game where it was a short ticket window, and that's the same thing here. I'll say 65-35.
Rams?
Yeah.
That'd be great. Yeah. I mean, everybody's going to make it, if the Cowboys do, and they will show up, Cowboys fans.
Oh, sure.
And they're going to make a big deal out of it and make it like it's some sort of reason why LA shouldn't have football. The Cowboys fans do this everywhere. This isn't new.
Yeah.
This isn't unusual. No matter where you go, they're going to be. They could play Seattle. In Seattle, there's going to be 35% Cowboys fans. It's just the way it works.
Yeah.
Anyway, who do we like in the game?
By the way, the weather forecast for Kansas City is 36 degrees and foggy. The weather forecast in Los Angeles, 61, partly cloudy.
That's good. That's good football weather. Both of those, really.
I think I think the Rams win. This Cowboys team is not good. This Cowboys team is in the playoffs because that division is what that division is.
But that division also has two teams in the playoffs this year.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid. I don't know
something about
how.
something.
I think it says something about the rest of the NFC.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
that spot should have been the Vikings, but they.
I mean, yeah, if the Vikings had just managed to beat goddamn Bills of all teams,
the Panthers should be here, but they just fell apart. It was 6-2 and ended up, losing 9 of their last 10.
There's plenty of teams that shit their pants for lack of a better term.
So
for the Eagles to make it to where they got to.
The NFC East doesn't impress me.
The Cowboys almost lost to the Giants on the last game of the season. Not that it mattered, but they were still playing their starters.
Yeah, and this Cowboys team, I don't think they are as good. I just don't think they're good enough to hang with this Rams team. I just don't.
I think if the Rams... Oh, go ahead. You're not done yet?
Yeah, no. So I think the Rams are just going to... I think they'll have an easy time of it. If the Rams defense can, they don't even have to be spectacular. They just have to be competent enough to stop Dak Prescott, and I think they'll manage it.
I like the Rams in this one. I think the Rams are going to put back together the little hiccup they had towards the end of the season there. And the Cowboys to win, it's got to be a lot like the Seattle game. It's got to be a 24-20 type thing, and I don't see them holding the Rams like that in Los Angeles. Dallas, I maybe like their chances a little better, but no, I think the Rams walk with this one pretty easy. I don't think it's going to be too much of a bump in the road for them. I think they'll be all right.
So I was at the playoff game last year, and I saw the way the Rams kind of came out sluggish, and they just didn't look like they were ready. So I hope that all those guys took that experience, because there are some new pieces, but the main players are guys that were there on the team last year. Playing a team last year where, the Falcons had made the Super Bowl the year before, but it was, they've been down. Offense wasn't the same sort of thing. So this is a similar sort of situation where you have a team that the Rams should roll over easily. You'll know whether or not this is going to be a blowout in the first, 8 minutes or so. Todd Gurley hasn't played for 3 weeks. Well, there was the bye and then the two easy games at the end of the year. So I'll be interested to see how he gets back in. But luckily, C.J. Anderson proved himself pretty well there at the end. So I think they're going to be able to run the ball just fine. And I think a lot of this game is going to come down to Jared Goff. Can he, get his mind right? And it looked like he did a little bit in the last 2 games. He played very well. The defense played, incredibly in that final game against the 49ers. So I'm still going to take the Rams, obviously. I got to. They're my guys. And
contractually obligated.
Yeah. And I hope that they take this time to really get together and make a statement. And then, but the other thing that's lingering in my mind is Sean McVay the next Andy Reid, where he could, maybe outthink himself in a tight game. I don't know.
Well,
so hopefully it's not a tight game, and we don't have to do that much thinking.
Take some solace in the fact take some solace in the fact that even if he is, he's only got to outwit Jason Garrett. So it's not like he's playing a chess master here.
Yeah, that's very true. So I think the Rams will be okay with it.
I mean, Jason Garrett, he's just basically calling the plays that Jerry's telling him, right?
Right.
The something I didn't think about, though, the worst part about Dallas winning that game for Cowboys fans, Jason Garrett got another new lease on life.
Oh, yeah. They've won 11 games this year.
That win netted him an extra 5 years.
Yep.
The Cowboys haven't made it out of the second round in forever, and maybe that's the excuse that they lay on them, but I don't think that's enough for Jerry. I think Jerry's like, oh, no, he's doing fine.
Oh, no, Jerry's going to look at...
They're going to lose the best team in the league. Oh, geez, guess we got to get him next year.
Jerry's going to look at the last couple of seasons where they were kind of falling all over themselves as a regression that, not because they weren't good, but just because these things just happen. I've got the right people in place. What was it, like 3 years ago they went 12-4? Remember their resurgence and they came back? And Dak's first, and he's, in his mind, when they played poorly after that, that was just a confluence of bad circumstances. It wasn't because they're not very good. Sure. And so, he's looking at this going, we're back. We're on track now. So, Garrett, get used to it, Cowboys fans. He's going to be there a while yet. Yeah. And I think he's a horrible coach. I'm sorry.
Which is hilarious because, most coaches can, run one title, to a number of job opportunities long past their best by date. Whereas Jason Garrett doesn't even need to get a title. No. He just needs to win a playoff game every 5 years, and he's good.
Yep.
Mike.
Yeah.
I mean, the championship aside, you know who Jason Garrett is? He's Randy Carlisle.
Oh, Jesus, he is.
He's buddies with the GM, and he'll never fire his friend. Despite a very noticeable lack of success, they do just good enough to where you can't quite push the button.
But you
know, close. You never do it.
Think about it for a second, though. Back to the Cowboys. Look, it's one of the marquee jobs in the NFL. But do you really, if you're as a head coach, do you really want it with the current management structure? I wouldn't.
No.
Yeah, so you need a guy like Garrett, and I don't know. I think Jerry Jones is delusional. I think he thinks this team is built for the future, and this is just the start of a glorious run of victory, to borrow a phrase.
Well, I think it might end up being similar to like the Raiders were, where Al Davis was just running that team to the ground for years.
Yeah.
Finally dies, or is, incapable of, giving orders. And then the Raiders had this incredible season out of nowhere. And then once somebody, a child gets the reins back, they start, going back to the ground.
Yeah. But so we all like the Rams basically then in this one.
Yeah, I
agree.
I think that's the smart choice one way or the other. The Rams are a 7-point favorite, by the way.
Yeah, I think that the Rams, there's no reason they shouldn't win this game. The key to them, if they can, they don't have to even stop Elliott, just contain him enough to make it that they have to put the ball in Dak Prescott's hands and they'll be fine.
That is the one thing that I would be concerned about is the Rams' run defense this year has not been stellar.
Yeah, but
that's something that could,
if the Rams can get out and score points at the pace they're capable of, the Cowboys can't run to stay in a game like that. They can't do it. There's no way. So the goal is to get out to a lead, put the ball in Prescott's hands, you'd be okay. Who's next after that?
Well, Sunday afternoon, Sunday morning, whatever you want to call it here. Chargers at Patriots. This is the only time, unfortunately for you, Mike, that weather is going to come into play. 28 degrees.
Ooh.
Snow.
Ooh.
Yeah, see, this is why Patriots going to win. Patriots are going to win. Sorry.
Fun facts, Tom Brady is undefeated against the AFC West at home in the playoffs. He has beaten all those teams at home in the playoffs. Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders, Broncos.
Oh, the Raiders was the Tuck
That
game.
was the Tuck rule game.
Speaking of that, I knew that was going to come up. I was watching a YouTube video the other day, and I'd always maintained that the Tuck rule was made up right on the spot. And I'm not so sure that I still don't believe that. But I watched this video. Do you know that stupid call had been made like 4 or 5 times prior to that game that season? The same exact call? Yeah. I was like, because when it was happening, I'm like, they are making this up on the spot just to screw the Raiders. I don't care what anybody says. But no, actually, it was called in a Bengals game, I think, and like a Lions game and a couple other times. And they showed the video of it and everything. I'm like, well, I'll be damned. It's an actual rule.
It's probably one of those things where it was like that was the emphasis rule that year. And everybody called it. Like the same way that you had the roughing the passer this year.
How much snow are we talking? Like
that one game, my God.
Are we talking snow flurries or are we talking 2 feet?
It sounds like it's going to be lighter snow. It will be on the lighter end. But like there's a full breakdown here from NFLweather.com. Temperature's going to be 20 at kickoff, 28 degrees. Will feel like 19.
Ooh,
Cloud cover, 34% chance of snow, by the way. So it's not like it's a given. But there will be,
wow.
There'll be some stuff.
Wow, Mike, I really wanted to go for your Chargers until I heard that. Wow.
Yeah, no. Patriots are going to win.
Again, it won't be a heavy snow necessarily, but it will be around.
See, I think
9 to 14 inches throughout the day.
Who?
I guess that's more.
That's a lot, dude. That's huge. That's a shitload of snow.
Could feature tons of snow. Oh, here's a CBS Sports report.
Because like 14 inches of snow here where I live would shut things down for 2 weeks.
There's a 50% chance of precipitation.
Oh, yeah, that does not bode well for the Chargers. Well, the Chargers do have a better running game, so there is that. Both teams have to play in it, but wow, I think that with that kind of weather,
wind chills of
Patriots.
Teams.
Yeah, I mean, like with the West Coast team, the cold weather I don't think it becomes a factor until it gets below freezing. Like if it's 40, 45, that it's okay. Yeah, it's cold, but it's not like chilling bone. Chill to the bone cold. You can survive. Especially if you're playing a sport, it's okay. I played baseball in 45-degree weather. It was no big deal. But to play in like 28-degree weather, whole different animal. And that's the difference. So I got to go with the Patriots just based on that alone.
If it is going to snow that badly, I will love it from a visual perspective. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's always great. For the Chargers' point of things, though, it's
that's tough.
You can't prepare yourself for that down here. Like, yeah, we say it's chilly and we break out our jackets when it's it gets in the 40s and we're like,
I never want to hear anyone I want to hear anyone in Southern California ever complain about it being chilly.
Well, I mean, you've lived among the snowbirds, Mike. You know how it is in these sun-bathed states. That when it gets
but it is
60. That's when you're like, oh, geez.
And it's been like.
And 40 is park weather.
Yeah, and it's been 60, and like kids in my class are like coming in like fully padded like jackets, and it's like 60 degrees, and I'm
like, you walk in flip flops and shorts.
I'm like, you're all soft. Like I'd be wearing shorts right now if they'd let me.
I will say, in the defense of the Floridians. And I lived down there for a year, spent a lot of time down there in the off season, like when it's cold out. And it sounds crazy, and it doesn't make any sense, but 60 degrees down there is colder than 35 degrees is here. It really is. I'm dead serious. I think it's the humidity because it just grabs you. I mean, I couldn't believe it because we went down there for spring training a few years ago, and it was 59 degrees, and I was never so cold in my life. I was like, this is ridiculous. But anyway, I think anything below 40, and that's when the weather starts playing a role on the warm weather teams. So 28 degrees, that's not good for the Chargers. I got to go with the Patriots. And
that's just the temperature. It'll feel like 1918.
Yeah, right.
And then, of course, the snow. And like I said, there's no way for the Chargers to prepare for that. You can prepare for rain. You can turn on the sprinklers and whatever.
Right.
You can't prepare for cold and wind and snow.
Not unless they're going to play in a freezer somewhere.
No, like, it's one of these cases where, again, I'm talking about Floridians, it gets 60 and they're wearing like down jackets. And like, if you're just not used to the cold, then you're just not used to the cold.
Nope.
So, the Chargers will have to rely on the run game, but Melvin Gordon had an additional brace put on his knee during the game last week. So he scored a touchdown afterwards, but,
but this doesn't bode well for my Chargers at all, that it's going to be that cold out. I got to go with the Patriots on that alone.
Look, I mean, I'm telling you, I'm just telling you, this is how it is. This is how it is.
We've all been there. Whether it's you with the Chargers, Mike, or Myers with the Colts, we've experienced firsthand what the Patriots do when it's this time of year, when there's snow on the ground. And
I will say this: the last time my team played the Patriots in the playoffs, they won. So there you go.
Well, how long ago was that?
1994.
Yeah, who was the quarterback for the Patriots back then?
Drew Bledsoe.
Was it Bledsoe still?
Yep. Drew Bledsoe against the immortal Vinny Testaverde.
I thought that might have been before Bledsoe's time, but okay.
No, it was Bledsoe. I'm positive it was Bledsoe. Now you got me wondering. But yeah, it was 94 playoffs. See, that was the year that if Cleveland didn't have its collective head up its collective ass, they would have realized we've got a really good coach here. So we should shut up about the fact that he doesn't like the media and just let him do his thing. And then that would be the Browns with all those Super Bowl trophies and all that. But no,
New England.
He's not nice to us. Let's run him out of town, you fucking idiots.
Is that why Belichick left Cleveland?
Well, he left Cleveland when the team moved, but the reason that they didn't like him was because he wasn't. I mean, obviously, we all know now he's not exactly the warmest, most inviting person, but it was his first head coaching job. He wasn't used to the media.
We're going to focus on next week's game, and
and the writers and the media here didn't like that, so they gave him a bad shake. Never mind the fact
it's Cleveland, so everyone wanted the blue collar guy, right?
Right, and never mind the fact that he took a team that had no business going 11-5 and took it 11-5, made the playoffs, beat the Patriots, coached by Bill Parcells at that time, and the whole bit. But anyway, I digress. But it was 94, and I'm pretty sure Bledsoe was the quarterback. But anyway.
Also, you mentioned this was last time your team beat the Patriots. I didn't know you were a Ravens fan.
Fair point. Well, if we're going out, yeah. My former team.
I'm sorry. I just had to. I just like bring up the Cleveland deal.
We've got news on your current team soon enough.
Yeah, we're talking about the Browns.
Well, we'll talk about the Packers.
Oh, Packers.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're all going Pats on this one, I'm assuming, then?
Yeah. And look, I think my own personal loyalties here, I've thought about it long and hard. I don't want the Chargers to move on.
Okay.
I don't want to deal with this.
All right.
And it's not even a fact of like they're going to be annoying. It's just like, yeah, it'd be weird.
You're just afraid of a Chargers victory in Battle LA Super Bowl edition.
Yeah, the sleeping giant that is the Chargers nation.
There was somebody posted on Twitter a video.
Fire rises.
Or the Chargers. The Chargers posted a video of a bar after the strip sack yesterday, and they recovered the ball to win the game. And they posted it on Twitter, and all these people were like, I didn't know you could get all the Chargers fans to show up at the same bar on the same day. It was pretty funny stuff.
I want to look that up because I want to see what bar they were at, because God knows I don't know where you would find.
It might not even, I think it was on the East Coast, actually, believe it or not. But anyway. All right, let's move on to the next game here. We're getting deep into the segment. I want to try to keep it under an hour if we can. Right. So who's left?
Last one is the final NFC game.
Saints.
Top seeded Saints hosting the Eagles. Weather, doesn't matter.
Not a factor. I got to go with the Saints all the way.
I think everybody does.
Yeah.
This Foles magic just cannot, especially against the offense that the Saints can put out there. They're not going to be as inconsistent as the Bears.
No, and Drew Brees is every bit as tired of Nick Foles as we are. So he's going to be saying, you know what, I'm going to show you people what a real quarterback does, what a real number 9 does. And the Saints I think they will.
I'm just tired of the fucking media going on about him over and over. It's like, I'm done. I'm tired.
What, Mike, are you saying the media takes a story and beats it to death? I'm shocked. I'm shocked by the very thought of it.
I think it's the first time in NFL history, playoff history, that 2 quarterbacks that are graduates of the same high school will be playing against each other.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Both came from Chaparral High School in Dallas, I believe.
All right, well, one of them turned out better than the other, and I'm taking the good one. I think Breeze and the Saints cruise in this one. Or let me put the Saints breeze to victory. There you go. There's your headline for some stupid fucking sports website out there.
Yeah,
I just credit me on that one. Just take it. I don't even want it.
I just think that the Saints, knowing Drew Brees and knowing Sean Payton, they're not going to come out. They're going to be ready, for the game. Yeah. And again, they have that extra time to prepare. Yeah. And I think that's
keep in mind
shut down whatever it is that Nick Foles is doing.
And keep in mind, this team would have had a shot against the Saints team would have had a shot against Nick Foles last year if they didn't make a very stupid, boneheaded play in the secondary against the Vikings.
Yeah. I don't even know if you can blame them on that. I think it was just one of those weird bounces that, God just said, okay, this is going to happen here, and I don't know. It was weird. All right, let's pause for a minute, and then we will. How'd we do last week? We all picked.
We picked. The majority of us picked the Colts. I thought.
Yeah, you and I picked the
Mike
Texans.
Had the Texans.
And I'm never doing that again because God damn.
I think we all picked the Cowboys.
Yeah, we all picked the Cowboys.
I believe we all picked the Chargers.
Yes.
Yes.
And I know I picked the Bears.
We all picked the Bears too.
I picked the Bears.
I did too. Yeah. We all had the Bears. So the only one that really was botched up was Mike's pick of the Texans. Which I hope you've learned a lesson, young man, with that.
About the Houston Texans?
Yes.
I'm not going to trust. Yeah, just don't trust Houston Texans. They don't deserve it.
Right.
No, they get relegated to the Saturday afternoon game for eternity.
Yeah.
For a reason, too. For a reason.
Yeah, get your shit together, Houston, and maybe you can graduate to the Saturday afternoon game.
let's do our lightning round. We've got a couple of things. I know you wanted to bring up my Packers.
Oh, yes, of course.
Because they now have a new head coach.
Your Packers have a new head coach who was the offensive coordinator for the Titans, who was the quarterback's coach for the Los Angeles Rams. Matt LaFleur continues his very quick ascent up the NFL coaching ranks.
Can I just
take over the Packers job?
Step in at this point and say that if there is one offense in the National Football League that you want to emulate, it's most definitely that of the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah.
Don't they consist entirely off of field goals?
Uh-huh. I don't know.
3-0 and they've scored 12 points all year.
Right, yeah. I don't know. I'm willing to give him a chance, but I saw that and I'm like, really? The Titans?
Well,
we've got Aaron Rodgers. You guys get that, right?
I mean, you probably don't need a former quarterback's coach when you have Aaron Rodgers. I think you can pretty much assume that position's, locked down.
Yeah.
So LaFleur was actually the offensive coordinator for the Rams, working under Sean McVay, but of course he didn't get to call any of the plays when he was in.
Oh, that makes
LA.
me feel better then. Okay. Yeah,
that's one of the reasons. So that's one of the reasons why he wanted to leave. Was like, yeah, he liked being with the Rams, but the Titans said, "Hey, you want to call the plays?" And
he said, "Sure." And then he got there and said, "Well, I don't have anything to call plays with. What am I supposed to do?" Hand it off to the big guy.
He's gone through this pretty quickly. So he started off his coaching career at Saginaw Valley State as an offensive assistant in 2003. Was an offensive assistant in Central Michigan, quarterback's coach in Northern Michigan, offensive coordinator at Ashland, whatever that is.
Ashland, that's a college here in Ohio, not too far from me, as a matter of fact. Division 2, I believe.
His NFL career started as an offensive quality control coach for the Texans. Then he was a quarterback coach for the Redskins for 3 years, was a quarterback's coach at Notre Dame for a year, then was QB coach for the Falcons for 2 years, offensive coordinator for the Rams, offensive coordinator for the Titans, and now head coach of the Packers.
Well, maybe he'll turn out to be another McVay type. You can only hope.
Well, that's kind of what I think they're going for, is that, I think everyone wants the next sort of Sean McVay,
Sure.
young offensive genius guy, and they're just digging around. There's who on a coaching tree somewhere looks like they have promise.
This is pretty astounding, considering Sean McVay's been in the league for 2 years, and now he has the first branch off his coaching tree.
Man, he's only, about 2 years older than you guys.
Well,
and now he's got a coaching tree already. If it works out, look, he can't be any less imaginative and more stagnant than Mike McCarthy was. So that's the thing. If he's 60% of what Sean McVay is, I think that's going to be a nice improvement for the Packers. So we'll see. I'm just happy to hear that he did more than just the Titans, because, like I said, that is not the offense I want to see my team try to become. Well, let's just hand the ball off a lot and kick field goals. We'll win a lot of games that way.
Hey, they made the playoffs last year.
Yeah, that's true. My irrational confidence. I should be happy about this. I've got a guy from my irrational confidence Titans. This should be great, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like Mike said, it's clearly a team jumping on a trend,
right?
Where they're jumping into the Sean McVay element.
But how often does that really work?
It doesn't.
It never works. No.
But he does have one great thing on his resume. In 2003. He played for the National Indoor Football League as a backup quarterback for the Omaha Beef.
Well, the Omaha Beef?
Omaha Beef.
And he was only the backup quarterback on this team.
Only the backup QB, yeah.
Well, I don't even know if I tell anybody about that.
I need to see what this team's uniforms look like.
Absolutely, look it up.
They look pretty normal.
Also, God, the National Indoor Football League looks like a sad, sad affair. That's
judging. What I mean, man. If you were a backup quarterback in that league, would you even tell anyone? I wouldn't.
Yeah, he then was also latched on another year with another team, the Billings, Montana. Where is he? The Billings Outlaws. So,
well, look it up, Mike. We need to see this, because the USFL Outlaws had a pretty cool logo. Let's see if these guys came close.
The Omaha Beef, they played at the Ralston Arena in a suburb of Omaha.
So do you think when teams played the beef, how many writers and newspapers said, we have a beef with this team? If it was more than once, it was one time too many.
The mascot for the Omaha Beef.
What is it?
His name is Sir Loin.
Okay, that's actually great.
Sir Loin.
Well, say what you want about
that. That's perfect.
Say what you want about the NIFL, but the actual NFL could use a little bit of this attitude in their marketing. Sir Loin. That's fucking awesome. God.
Sir Loin needs your support. It says here on this page. Let me see. I gotta find a picture of this.
Sir Loin.
Hey, the Omaha Beef set up on January 2nd. They said, beef fans, we need everyone to send good vibes to former Omaha Beef quarterback Matt LaFleur as he interviews for the Packers position.
Oh, this has to be the biggest thing that's ever happened for the Omaha Beef, right?
Have you seen?
Oh my God, these uniforms! Mike. Oh my God, these uniforms!
The Outlaws?
No, the Omaha Beef.
Let's see.
Look at the pants. Look at the pants.
Beef.
Just these giant pants. Beef just blazing on the side of their legs.
What looks to be Times New Roman font too. Like,
because of the way they put it, it looks upside down.
Yeah.
Because they put it with the B at the top and the F at the towards the leg.
Yeah.
Or towards the knee. So if.
Hey, is that Matt LaFleur under center? Do you think there or not?
No, that's an old picture. This is their current.
I kind of
the 20th season of Beef Football.
I was just going to say, is that what that is? A double X? Wow.
Yeah, 20 seasons. I think the Oklahoma Aces.
I think we went over these guys on the show a few years ago. We talked about. I remember some of these logos.
Oh boy!
Oh, that's some look you got going there, Beef.
Have you guys seen Sirloin though?
No. Do you have a picture?
I haven't found a picture of him.
I have found a picture of Sirloin.
Oh, we got to see this.
Okay, here we go. Let's get here is Sirloin.
Oh, that's spooky weird looking, man. Oh no, there. Okay, it's about the smaller picture. I thought his nose was like a face, like a giant bullhead. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he does kind of look like a gorilla with horns.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
Sirloin.
But
and look at the photography company. I mean, look at the watermark on that picture. They use nothing but the best for the Omaha Beef. Look at that.
The Omaha Beef only contract this out to the highest quality.
Right.
I love it, Sir Loin. And then I'm looking at like their seating chart, and it said, it has the outline of the stadium, the away bench, the beef bench.
The beef bench.
This is where the beef sit. So the other teams in this league, we got the Oklahoma Flying Aces, Sioux City Bandits, Wichita Force, Texas Revolution, Salina Liberty, Amarillo Venom. None of them beat, though, the Omaha Beef.
That's awesome.
20 seasons. Who knew
I didn't even know that league existed.
No, they don't. They don't. The National Indoor Football League no longer exists. Now it's the Champions Indoor League. Like they've jumped around.
Yes. I see that there. The Champions Indoor Football League.
So like it's one of these cases, right, where like they were like one. I think they might have been the only team to survive. Or like
guys, wait a minute. Are they using a red, white, and blue football in this shot of the Beef?
Yeah, they are.
Oh man.
Oh yes, they are. Yes, this is going to be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 6th league that the Omaha Beef have competed in.
That's because they're that fucking good.
By the
Indoor Professional Football League, National Indoor Football League, United Indoor Football League, Championship Professional Indoor Football League, Champions Indoor Football.
Apparently, It's $27 a game to get a VIP party deck seat.
Hey, that's not bad. Not bad. Not bad to watch the beef.
Oh God, the Omaha Beef have an Instagram account.
Is that another shot of Sirloin?
It is.
Oh, look at Sirloin rocking the double cowbells.
Like, I'd be disappointed if the Omaha Beef mascot didn't rock a double cowbell.
Right?
Like,
I'm just saying. Double cowbells. Look at a double bass drum kit.
God damn it. Sirloin is just going to be in my dreams all day. Look at him.
Oh, man. Look at him decked out in his suit.
in a dress shirt?
Yeah.
Wow, but look at how poorly constructed his mask is. Like, take a good close-up.
That is disgusting.
That is some foul. Look, it looks like he's slobbered all over himself. It's like he has hoof and mouth disease, and most of it's in his mouth.
By the way,
his eyes like behind the mask.
Oh man!
By the way, so this is on their Instagram account. I'm going to send you a screenshot from their Instagram account. This shows the Omaha Beef alternate jersey.
Oh,
I guess they have like an alternate jersey, and you guys need to see this.
Look at Sirloin in that one too. I mean, he went from cool to like he's just kind of he's troubling to look at now.
Yeah, he's gotten fatter over the years.
He's gotten fatter, and his mask is a disaster.
Check out this jersey.
Oh
wow! Wow!
Wow! That's like a turn ahead the clock.
That's a CFL circa 1994 jersey.
Look at that football.
Yeah.
I still love that. I mean, this guy's rolled up his pants, so they just say B instead of beef.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, that guy in the background, yeah.
No, both of them.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Wow. That is something, huh? But hey, look at that. The Omaha Beef pummel the Power 71-6. Beef were they were messing around that game. I am just so troubled by this picture of Sirloin with the dance team tryouts.
Oh, geez. Here's a better look at a different version of those jerseys. Holy garbage. These are
I swear, the things we find on this show.
Oh, look at that.
It has a black patch at the back.
Oh, they got a gradient going on. Look at what they're
doing the Jags thing.
And that's like a home version of the alternate, right? With the orange?
Look at that.
Wow.
Nice.
With the giant orange side panels on the pants. With the beef down the side.
Wow. Those might be the most offensive football uniforms I have ever seen.
Yeah, they're not great. That's for sure. Wow.
You know what? I can only hope Nike doesn't stumble onto this and be like,
Can we get a indoor football championship indoor football thread going that we can
The picture of Sirloin in the pink shirt and the tie, that's troubling to me. Like, clean him up a little bit. So is mask. I mean, come on. You're the Omaha Beef. You've got to do better than this. You've been around
for 20 years. You're an institution.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think they haven't updated the mask in 20 years.
Oh.
But I got to say, though, man, the season ticket ad there with him rocking the double cowbells, that's the best thing I've ever seen. That is so awesome.
They call their arena the Slaughterhouse.
Okay.
Because they're the beef.
Look at the lady and look at the people in these pictures, like with the double cowbell shot. The guy in the middle's like, "What the fuck am I doing here, man? Why am I even here?"
I don't want to.
Folks, I will post all of these on Twitter so you can follow along to see what we're talking about.
I don't want to stereotype, but these look like the type of people who would get season tickets to Omaha football.
Right. I have to agree. Oh, come on. I want that Property of Beef football t-shirt in the back.
In the background.
Come on.
Come on, Omaha Beef, get an online store set up.
Tell me that would be the greatest. I don't want a jersey. I want that shirt. I want the Property of Beef football.
Property of Beef football XX.
Property of Beef. Yeah,
Sirloin rocking the double cowbells. That is too awesome.
I nearly broke down when I read his name.
I bet. Rightfully so, I would say. I tell you, man, the things we stumble across on this show, it just blows my mind.
I mean, where else are you going to get a sports podcast that talks about sirloin and like the sacred?
There are,
flan man.
Right.
Like,
there are necks tingling in Omaha. They're going, someone's talking about the beef out there.
For all we know, maybe we got listeners in Omaha.
We might.
I don't know.
We might. You never know. Maybe to take it full circle, maybe Jimmy Durex is from Omaha. He'll really hate us now.
Yeah.
We are showing nothing but love for the Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So if he's going to hold that against us,
I think the beef are great.
Omaha Beef. Let's set something up.
I think that we should maybe name them the official whatever league they're in team of Basically a Sports Show.
Omaha Beef. If you want to put the cash forward, we will do a live podcast the opening day of beef football next season.
Only if we get those T-shirts, though. Sorry.
But only if we get the T-shirts, and we want a meet and greet with Sirloin.
Right. Those are the two. I mean, I don't want to be a diva about this, but I got to have the T-shirt, and I got to meet Sirloin, and then I'll do it.
On their website, let's see. We've got seats.
It's a really
we got
basic
tickets.
website.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, they don't have any merch. Hold on. Let's see. Championship, was it Champions Indoor Football or Championship Indoor Football?
Oh, I got the website. It's gocif.net.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, it's even a .net. Wow.
.net.
Well,
there you go.
CIF. CIF is what we call the high school, people around here.
Oh, my God. You can follow these guys on Facebook and Twitter. You know I'm on it already.
Of course you can. There's got to
Basically, a sports show is now officially following the CIF, Champions Indoor Football League. So, again, for your listeners, I will post these pictures on our Twitter feed so that you know what we're talking about.
No online store, which is disappointing.
That's disappointing. Well, somebody had to get that beef football T-shirt somewhere. Come on.
I think you got to go to the game.
I was scrolling through their Facebook page. They do have an official merchandise stand at the local
okay. So I'd have to go to a beef game to get one.
At the local community center / barbecue pit.
I'll bet you know what? I'll bet you through Facebook we could probably talk to a beef fan and go, look, buy us these T-shirts and we'll pay you for them, or we'll give you the money, pick us up some T-shirts. They would do it. They'd be like, this big old podcast said they want to buy one of our T-shirts. One of them Yankee podcasts, they want to buy some of our stuff.
One of them Yankee podcasts.
By the way, I'm sorry to the good people of Omaha, Nebraska. I'm sure you're not as redneck as we're portraying.
You're probably a little bit as redneck as we're making you sound.
They host the College World Series.
That's true.
I don't want to stereotype, but when you got the Oklahoma beef with sirloin,
Omaha beef, Mike. Come on.
Sorry, Omaha. I got the Oklahoma City Aces, but no.
Aces, yes.
Yes, no, the Omaha beef, and you got sirloin as your mascot. Certain things are gonna pop into my head. The Duke City Gladiators are another team in
what the hell is
you can probably be offended by us having a little fun at your expense, or you can look at it as we're the only people in the whole world talking about your team.
This is a Duke City.
Duke City, they play in Albuquerque.
Oh, the Albuquerque Dukes, get it?
Yeah.
So if you go to the now this is on the Duke City Gladiators. If you go to the fan zone drop down menu on their website, there's a members only section. So you gotta
they got wallpaper. I'm all over that.
You gotta sign up for the exclusive Duke City Gladiator content.
Look at that. You can do iPhone wallpaper for the Duke City Gladiators. Are you kidding me? It stops at iPhone 6. 4 models will go, I got a 404 page. Come on, guys.
Oh, God.
Get it together.
Jeez.
Oh, shit. Come on, Oklahoma City beef. Just reach out to us. We'll make something happen.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We will come out there and do the podcast live before one of your games. Right there on the spot. Or not. Well, Zach can still call in. Mike and I will be there. Zach may not show up.
Yeah, let's find the cheapest flight to Omaha.
I can't imagine
they've got to pay for it, don't they? I mean, we're not paying our own way.
No. Sure. Yeah. If my travel is taken care of, but
I put that out when I made the offer. I put that out, just to start off. They'd have to pay our way there.
You gotta foot the bill. But once we're there, I promise you, we'll give you the coverage you absolutely deserve. And more.
Yeah. But again, we want the property of beef T-shirts, and we want to meet sirloin.
That's right. And pictures with sirloin too.
Pictures of sirloin.
Right, because if you don't specify, they may not let us have that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Next season, though, it's not looking good. The Oklahoma Beef last season were 4-8.
Well,
so, I'm hoping that they can turn things around.
See, that's how we are. We don't even care that your team's under 500. We like you so much that we're ready to come out and help.
Oh, yeah. We're all over the Oklahoma City Beef.
Where do they play? Do we know where they play?
Yeah, Ralston Arena.
Oh, the Ralston?
Ralston. Like Ralston.
Oh, Ralston, like Ralston Purina.
Sure.
Okay, so live from Ralston Arena, it's basically a sports show brought to you tonight by the Omaha Beef. I don't know. That might confuse people. I don't think they even know that was a football team.
The Omaha... Let's see.
We can get end zone tickets for $12.
Hey.
Ralston Arena, also called the Ralston Sports and Event Center.
Would you rather play the Ralston Sports and Event Center or Dignity Health Sports Park?
I think that you're either one. You're probably fighting with the bingo schedule to see when you can get in.
Pretty much, right? Like the Dignity Health Sports Park, right? Because at best, it's like that sounds where you go to play softball.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, this week we've got bingo on Tuesday. Wednesday night it's softball night. And Thursday, the Los Angeles Chargers take on the Kansas City Chiefs.
It serves as the home of the Omaha Lancers of the United States Hockey League.
Oh,
yes.
Now we're really cooking. Now we can make it a 2-for-1 deal.
action.
USHL and the Omaha Beef of Champions Indoor Football. Let's see.
Go Beef, go. Go Beef, go.
You know what? They might correct us and say, like, that's not the chant.
Let's go Beef.
We have a beef.
It also serves as the home of the Omaha Mavericks and Division One.
What?
It was also the location of the VEX Robotic National Competition in 2013.
Hey, you can't get this information anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Barstool Sports, fuck them. They can't do this.
October 2015, the Ralston Arena was the venue for the Women's Flat Truck Derby Association Division I Roller Derby playoffs hosted by local league, the Omaha Roller Girls.
Okay, are you kidding me? So we can get beef football, hockey, and roller derby all in the same. See, this is a great arena. That's what I'm talking about. And you can probably still play bingo too. Come on. I'm just saying, there's nothing better than this. I am ready to go, Omaha. Just you make the call. We'll make it work. We'll be there.
Mm-hmm.
It's on you now, Omaha. You can bring this Yankee podcast. We'll come in and we will be the most.
Luckily, all their games are on Saturdays. So
look at that.
All their games are on Saturdays.
Hey, we wouldn't even have to miss NFL action. Well, we would.
Well, it's from March to June.
Oh, well, perfect.
Yeah, spring football.
Slow part of our schedule even at that point, Omaha. So come on, let's do this. Let's make it happen. I'm going to tweet out to them when we get done tonight and tell them that we want to do this, that we're going to come out and do a live show featuring the beef, but we also want to see some hockey, and we got to see the roller derby. Bingo is optional. If you guys want to play bingo, we can. I'm cool either way. Okay.
My face hurts.
Oh, God.
I think we should wrap it up on that note because I don't know where the fuck we would go after that anyway. I will remind you all again that I will post the pictures of the Omaha Beef. Everything that we've been talking about will be on the Twitter feed. So when you get to this point of the show, just go to Twitter and we'll find it somehow.
Yeah,
I'll pin that tweet so that you know right where to go.
My face hurts and my eyes are watering.
So check that out. But follow us on Twitter at Basically Sports. Subscribe via iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, and the YouTubes. You can find us on Facebook, where I will also post all the Omaha Beef pictures. And once again, I'm going to say it, Omaha, we're here. All you got to do is ask.
One of us will even dress up as Sirloin.
Nah, I'm not going to go that far.
You don't want to wear that mask?
No, not really, no. We'll let Sirloin do his bit. Any final thoughts, boys?
Go Beef.
Go Beef. All right.
Go Beef.
Go Beef, go.
We'll see you next week, folks. Thanks for tuning in.
Later.